On to Knoxville. The last time Alabama went to Knoxville, it was an iconic game. It was a just melt your face, storm the field, sink the goalposts in the Tennessee River, everything. And we're watching what happened.
Biggest FOMO I've ever had in my life, Andy.
I know. I was at my house like, why am I not there? Why am I not there? So it was amazing. This does not feel like that. This feels like two teams that don't know what the hell they are right now, and they got to win. This is exactly the same feeling I got last week going into the LSU Ole Miss game, where whoever loses this game, I do not feel confident that they can run the table. So if you want one of these teams to make the playoff, I think they got to win this one because I think they're going to lose another one if they lose.
I'm looking at the graphic on the screen here, and like Alabama at Tennessee plus 2.5 is exactly what I thought it would be a month ago, but the circumstances of this plus 2.5 are so much different than it would have been. Like I thought that both of these teams would be undefeated, well, especially after the Georgia game, and being in the position that they're in right now with this quasi-elimination type scenario is not how I drew it up. So the questions that we have too is the thing that I heard 5 times in the press box during the Alabama game on Saturday, which is Alabama mid? Okay. Like what's causing Alabama to play these games closely? What caused them to get straight up beat by Vanderbilt?
I don't think their defense is that good this year.
So is their defense not very good? Okay, that's good. Then on the Tennessee side, it's like Nico is somebody that we thought was a emerging star in the sport, and I'm not willing to say that he's not anymore, but hasn't played the best few games. And their offense has not been nearly as explosive. Like that game that we just watched on the clips there, like we have that like Tennessee on our head of like, are they going to score 40
That's
points?
not this Tennessee, at least the last few weeks.
So
like what the Tennessee offense against Florida was much more Joe Milton than Hendon Hooker. There were a lot of wide open receivers who got airmailed in that game. And I'm a little concerned that this isn't turning around for Tennessee. I was thinking, okay, maybe Arkansas had a good game plan for them, that Arkansas has a better defense than I think people realize. But I know what Florida's personnel is on defense. Like, they should not have been able to hold Tennessee down the way they did. And Florida's defense played its ass off. Like, they were incredible in that game. We got to talk about PrizePicks. Best daily fantasy game in America. Download that app. Use the code STAPLES. Play $5. Get $50 instantly. So, Ari, I did not even realize I had a better week than I thought in the PrizePicks. So, Friday night, I was sure that I was winning this thing. I had Malik Williams with more than 213.5 passing yards, and I had Sam Levitt, the quarterback for Arizona State, more than 199.5 passing yards because I was confident Arizona State was going to beat Utah. But I figured to do that, they were going to have to throw the ball a bunch. They were going to have to light it up through the air. They didn't need that. Levitt only threw for, I believe, 154 yards, but they still won the game. Malik Williams obviously had a very good game against Utah State. UNLV rolled, but Arizona State didn't need to throw as much, so I did not win there. But
Ari, Sam Levitt came out of the game for a portion of it too, which doesn't help your cause.
But I did have a good day on Saturday. This is the one I threw out to the people. So if you guys looked at this, if you saw my tweet with this on Friday and you did this, then there you go. Download PrizePicks, use the code STAPLES, play $5, get $50 instantly. The board will be getting populated. Usually with the college football, the board starts to get populated usually around Tuesday, big time on Wednesday, big time on Thursday. But of course, they have every sport. They've got esports. They've got the NFL. They've got the NBA is about to start, the NHL. Monday Night Football is tonight. So if you want to sprinkle a little on Monday Night Football, go ahead. But Alabama has much better players than Florida on defense.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Tennessee's going to score a bunch this game.
Yeah. So sounds like I know where you're leaning.
I am, because until I see Tennessee scoring with regularity against a decent SEC defense, I'm not going to believe it, because they're as good as Tennessee's defense is, and it is very good, and it can force turnovers. You saw, Tennessee's defense saved the Vols in the Florida game, forcing that fumble, the Graham Mertz fumble on the goal line. James Pierce forced that fumble, saved the game. They lose if they don't force that fumble. They're going to have to do that over and over against Alabama if their offense isn't going to wake up.
I just feel like I got fooled with Tennessee. Like I feel bad about it. Like I actually like left the Oklahoma game thinking like this team could win playoff games.
It feels like the play calling, Heupel and Nico can't quite get, they don't have the mind meld yet. Like they had the mind meld when Hendon Hooker was there, where they knew the call was exactly what Hendon was comfortable doing, and it looked perfect. It looked, even when the plays didn't work, you saw where they were going with it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like they're comfortable. I will say, and it's strange, and maybe this is something that this is anecdotal for me. I need to go back and actually run the numbers on this, but at least in the Florida game, it seemed to me that when they threw on first down, the offense ran more smoothly.
Yeah.
Like you give Nico a high confidence throw, especially like a drive opener, like a first play of the drive, let him throw and complete a pass. It feels like they're more confident as an offense after that. And you can set up, let's say you 6-yard gain, then you set up a Dylan Sampson run, and then you're sitting there at 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1, and you feel pretty confident you can either run for that or throw another high confidence pass, and then you can get your tempo going after that next first down. And do you throw deep? Do you run and then throw deep on 2nd and short? Like everything opens up for you. You're not seeing a lot of series like that from Tennessee right now.
Yeah. And, for Tennessee to make the playoff this year, we thought in the recent past that they had to split against Alabama and Georgia, especially now having lost to Arkansas, you definitely have to. So, this is probably your best shot of doing it, considering you're home and you've got to travel to Georgia in 3 or 4 weeks after this. This is a game that I felt like they were built to win. Now, it's just the Alabama brain of they're still going to be
I am not looking at Alabama. I'll hand up here. I'm not looking at Alabama like Saban era Alabama right now. I'm not looking at them
it's hard to separate
as this, unbeatable, or you have to play the perfect game to beat them. You don't have to play the perfect game to beat them, but Tennessee does have to be better offensively than it has been the last 2 games if it wants to beat them. And that is why I'm picking Alabama in this game.
Yeah. I think I'm going to pick Alabama in the game too, but I think that I don't feel great about it.
No, I don't. I don't feel great about either. I wouldn't feel great picking either team in this game. I don't know how it's going to go. I think there's, the Neyland Stadium of it all is going to play into it. But I also can see a scenario where Jalen Milroe does take over. I mean, we've seen Jalen Milroe and Ryan Williams and company play really well against a good defense. I mean, they went out, they got up 28-0 against Georgia, and for a half, there was nothing Georgia could do that would stop them. So if you can do that against Georgia, you can do that against Tennessee too. And that's why I feel more, at least I've seen that from Alabama. I haven't seen this from Tennessee other than, the NC State game. So, and I again, like I said earlier, I don't trust NC State's defense. So that's really it. Is Alabama's got to prove they can do it. I've seen Alabama do, Tennessee has to prove they can score regularly. I've seen Alabama do it. So I will take Alabama.
And River just put up a poll, and the results are exactly what you would have thought with who's going to win the game, with 41 votes on the live stream right now. Alabama 51%, Tennessee 49%.
Yeah, this is not an easy pick. This is a very difficult pick.
Also, exciting, electric game to be excited. Look forward to watch.
Oh, so. The atmosphere is going to be great. I mean, the Neyland Stadium atmosphere for the Florida game is great. I'm sure the Tennessee fans were frustrated most of the night because they felt like they should have been up more, but that at least they did get the win.
Yeah,
and so I think they're coming in probably more optimistic than they would have had Florida pulled that out. And let's be real here. If Billy Napier goes for 2 there, it's probably 50-50 at that point.
Yeah.
So that was a very narrow escape by Tennessee. We'll see if they can cash in on it, but I am taking Alabama in that game.